Merry meets. Paganism is viewed by many as either a religion or a way of life. No matter which way you view it, paganism affects the way you live your life. We love the freedom that we find in paganism. Lacking the dogma that is abundant in most other religions, we are able to live our life without threats of going against our own beliefs. Most people also believe that religion shouldn't be where we get our morals. Morality is based off the society that we live in. But as I look around the world today, I think that we need a few more morals and a great deal of ethics to separate ourselves from the rest of society. People that would rather vote for a person accused of child molestation than a Democrat. One of the great complaints against the Abrahamic religions is that they have restrictions on many things in life, but they don't police their own or give positive examples on how to live your life. We tell ourselves that we know the difference between good and evil, but have you ever sat down and decided what is evil and not allowed in your life? Good and evil is a perception. No two people will have the same outlook on evil because it is about the individual and his or her willingness to stand up against evil. You can have the most detailed guidelines on what evil is and isn't, but if you refuse to do anything about it, it really doesn't matter. All it takes for evil to succeed is for good men or women to do nothing. Our spirituality and who we are is defined on how we view good and evil and what we are willing to do to stand against what we think is wrong. Evil is defined by many people in so many different concepts that it can cause you to stand back in awe. There are people that view stubbing your toe on something in the middle of the night as an act of evil. I myself view that as an accident and there was no malice involved, thus not evil. In the pagan communities, there are people that actively promote the concept of shunning all negativity. I find this to be one of the most heinous acts of evil in paganism. If a person is depressed, there is going to be a reason why. And that reason could be very simple and could be addressed quickly. We must do the right thing. Helping people in need is such a task. Removing anger from the world is better than just ignoring it. Society tells us that many confusing ideals on what good and evil are. Stereotypes and outdated fears dominate the concept of good and evil. Atheists are the most untrusted people in the U.S., but the many that I know have a great sense of ethics and morals. Pagans and Satanists are one and the same to many Christians, even though they are from two different umbrellas of belief. Churches are supposed to be pillars of ethics and morality, but I have seen numerous churches engulfed with scandals involving sexual misconduct to money issues. Morals and ethics are at a low, and we need to change ourselves to start the change in this world. How do we define what evil is then? I, for myself, have a notebook that is full of different situations and how I should deal with them. Then I remind myself of these rules as situations arise in life. I will always add to and update this book of ethics because some laws in various countries, some laws have to change with the changing times. But the biggest issue is enforcement. How many times will you stand by and do nothing? Are you going to ignore your own rules when a friend does something that you said was wrong? Your ethics are corrupt when you allow your friend to steal from work, but wouldn't hesitate if another employee did the same thing. Many of us complain about the corruption in government, but yet are guilty of the same thing in our own personal life. What type of person are you when you say something is wrong, but ignore it when it happens right in front of you? But how does this fit in with paganism? Very simple. If you can't be honest and work with ethics in your mundane life, we shouldn't expect you to be any better in your spiritual life as well. How can you expect to work with magic that requires a clear, defined intent when your judgment is clouded? If you believe in karma or some other form of retribution, your own acts of ignoring ethics will be your own downfall. I can't help but to remember a group of pagans that developed a grouping tradition called Idgath, which literally means I don't give a fuck. They base their ideals that they can believe as they want and they don't care what others say. And while that is what makes paganism so inviting to others, it is also a lie about paganism. Paganism has freedom, but it has structure as well. Some things are done for a reason. There is no true uncontrolled freedom in paganism. Everything has a limit to an extent. If you act with total regard to paganism, then you are being unethical to what was built before you. You want people to respect your beliefs while you have no regard for other people's beliefs. Right and wrong, or good versus evil, they are one and the same. It is about perspective and how you view something. Finding the person inside of you to stand for what you claim is right and standing against what you view is unethical. Create a book of ethics and watch the news. Decide for yourself what is right and wrong, and if you are going to do anything about it. Can you go look in the mirror and be happy with the decisions that you have made today or this week? I could have easily caved in this week at work to try to fit in. I was asked if I thought someone was acting like a twit. My response was, I'm not insulting anyone this week. So now I can look in the mirror with pride knowing that I haven't insulted a single person this last week or this last month. Ethics and morals have a double standard, and the golden rule is connected to it. Don't do unto others as you wouldn't like done to you. Think of everything that you don't like done to yourself, and then apply the rules to yourself. You don't like getting robbed? Then don't steal. If you wish you could find someone that would be honest in a relationship, then you must be honest as well in a relationship. And from a personal situation that I'm going through right now, if you want to have good neighbors, then you first have to be a good neighbor. So I've given you a little bit of heavy thinking to do and a project that will never end. But spend some time trying to figure out what type of person you are. And that is the real prize in this quest. Trying to figure out what type of person you really are. So many people can't picture what type of person they are because they don't spend the time reflecting on the very nature of who they are. So much time is spent figuring out, what they are and what they own. They're trying to fit in with society. But look within yourself and discover something wonderful about you. Good night. Take care. Be at peace.